So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today? So what's the plan today?
What's the plan is to conduct a alternate road lesson.
Okay.
Concentrating on briefing. Just doing a full explanation on briefing.
Okay.
Maybe a good location will be Ferry Bridge. That where it's a dead end.
Yeah, that'll work, yeah.
That's quite nice and wide.
Okay.
If I'm successful, I'll be going away. I'll know because I'll go away happy.
So what will success look like to you?
Success will look like I'm talking to somebody what I know or a mate, but actually giving right information, but making it look as though I'm just having a normal conversation.
Okay.
And I say that every time, but that's what it's all about, isn't it?
You're on a journey to try and get that to happen, aren't you? So how do you want to structure that? I think we'll have some cool air because it's blisteringly hot in here, isn't it? It's. I brought it around from behind the building about an hour ago, but it's it's a little warm in here at the minute, isn't it? So how do you think we might structure that then? Do you want to just run it as though it was as though you're doing the testing, or do you want to set it up in different little component parts?
I'd rather set it up as though I'd already passed my test and you were an LDC pupil and I were just from beginning.
Alright, okay. And what we'll say is, I've come to you, my name's Bob, keep life simple. I've come to you, I've been with another LDC instructor, we were due to do that turn in the road today, but he's poorly and he cannot make it. So he's organised for you to fill in for him while he's off. Over to you.
Oh, do you want to start now?
Okay, can you?
Yeah. Pleased to meet you, Bob. My name's Darren.
Hi, Darren. Hi.
Oh, just break out a roll, Bob.
Yeah. That was quick.
I know. And forget why is your instructor not here?
He's poorly. I'm not sure what's the matter with him.
I'll start again.
Okay. Rewind. Click.
Good afternoon, Bob. My name's Darren.
Hi, Darren.
Your previous normal instructor's been taken ill.
Yeah, he can't do it today. Yeah.
So they asked me to fill in for him.
All right.
What is it that you'd like to work on today?
That 3-point turn thing.
Turning the road?
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Have you had any experience with turning road before?
No.
Have you done any manoeuvres whatsoever?
Oh yeah, we did some reversing last week.
Yeah.
Like in a straight line, and then we reversed around the corner.
Yeah, how were you with that?
It's alright, I think, yeah. It was tricky at first, but I got it in the end.
Have you done any clutch control before?
How do you mean?
Like, how would you keep cars steady to keep the car slow? If you wanted to keep the car really slow, you know when you were reversing.
Oh right.
Straight line reverse.
It was just like on my clutch control. Yeah. I had to like sort of just like balancing it thing.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Were you?
It was alright, I think. Yeah.
Because that's what we were going to use today.
All right.
That's going to help your big style.
Oh okay.
Yeah. What about steering? Have you done any steering? A steering lesson?
Yeah, we did one that car park near. It used to be Comet. Can't think what they call it now. PC World.
Near McDonald's.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
It was all right.
Did your instructor tell you about full lock and stuff?
Yeah, we did get it right the way around. Yeah.
Well, that's another good point because we're going to be using that today as well.
All right. Okay.
So you've got two good pointers there.
Mm-hmm.
Just one other thing. When you moving off and stopping, did you use a routine called the POM routine? You remember what that was?
I'm trying to think now. You said, was that prepare and then move off? Was it?
Yeah. Prepare, observe.
Oh yeah. Observe and move. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
So that's another good thing as well because you're going to be using that. So
right.
It's like we've done the lesson already.
Right. Oh, okay.
So where do you think's a good location to do it?
Well, when we did the reversing, we were over near Ferry Bridge. You know where where it joins onto the old A1. Yeah. Instead of going around there, you go like left and up the top of the hill and up there.
That's a good location. That's the one I had in mind.
Yeah. We did a reverse around there. It was nice and quiet.
Yeah. Do you know why we do a turning road? Why would we want to do that manoeuvre? Do you know?
I suppose it's maybe you were. Well, if you got lost.
If you got lost and you wanted to turn
Well,
around.
turn around and go the other way, yeah.
Or if you're going down a dead end, there were no other way out, and there were no turning to do a left reverse or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the only manoeuvre you'd be able to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, after all that then, are you still happy to go ahead with it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. When we get to location, we'll have a talk about how much help you want from me and that when you've actually looked at road and that.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. So, are you alright with that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So when you're ready then we can move off and head
What do you want me to do? You want me to drive with?
Yeah.
Self and sorted.
Just out of roll, Bob.
Okay.
Are you going to do some faults and that on way, and I'll see if I can stop it.
Well, how about if I just drive the way that a learner at that level might drive? Does that seem reasonable? What do you need from me at this point?
What do I need from you to drive perfect?
So yeah, just have a think about it.
Well, if you're at Turnip Road stage, you probably you'll have probably done junctions and that. I might be expecting you to just miss odd mirror checks and stuff.
Okay, possibly. But is there anything you can ask me at this point that might help you?
Stuff to what's linked into Turnip Road observations.
Possibly. But look at where we are. How is this in terms of a pull away?
It's uphill.
What else?
It's on an angle.
What might you ask me?
About what's the difference between this set off here and a normal one?
Possibly. But is there another question you can ask me, maybe?
Why do you think it's important to make sure you do a good blind spot check here?
You could do it.
Because
Would it help you just to say, you pulled away from here before? Oh yeah. What's different about this? So if I say to you, I've done it before, but, there's a chance that it's going to be right. So you pulled away from here before? Okay. Tell me what you're going to do to control the speed. So those sort of questions. Have you driven from here to the location before? Well, I said I did the reverse there last week. Did you drive there from here last week? Yeah. So what have we got to go do there? What have we got to go across to get there? Some traffic lights in there.
Yeah.
Have I done them?
Probably not.
So how did you get over there last week? Oh, my instructor helped me loads.
That's the bit I forgot about.
Yeah, that's okay though.
You just assumed, didn't you?
Never do that. Or we could just drive over there and just start again when we get there. I'll leave it up to you.
Go on, we'll drive over there then and we'll start up when we get there.
And then what we'll do is we'll pop the... There you go, Darren. Here we are at the location. I thought we'd just skip the driver in the middle and let's just focus on the thing that we're working on. So, back in a roll now.
Right then, Bob, we're at the training area.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still happy to go ahead with the manoeuvre?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Just to recap, can you remember why we're doing this manoeuvre?
It's for like if you're dead end like this.
Yeah.
Or if you got lost, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, after that then, what level of help do you want from me?
I'm not sure.
Do you want me to explain it to you? Or do you want me to just let you have a go or prompt you or...
Could I just have a go? Would that be alright? Would you tell me if I'm getting it wrong?
Yeah, it's up to you. It's your lesson, yeah. If you want to give it a go and then I'll watch you and then... Do you want me to just let you do it all or do you want me to pull you up if you start making mistakes?
I'm trying to think about that. What I did last time. It's maybe could you give me a bit of help?
Yeah, no problem. So just before we start, there's something I missed. Have you heard of something called camber on the road?
No.
No, it's a bit in the middle. Camber, it's where it's slightly higher in the middle than on the outside. If you look to that side over there, see how it slopes away to that grass from the middle.
Yeah.
Do you know why they do that? Do you know why it has camber?
No.
It's for drainage, so water doesn't stop in the middle.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
Yeah. So when we eventually set off from here and we go towards that grass over there, what do you think car's going to do when we go over that middle bit?
Well, that's going to go downhill, isn't it?
Yeah. So how are you going to control speed?
I can't do it on my clutch then, can I?
No.
Would I need to put the brake on?
Yeah. You put the brake on
Alright,
in the
okay.
clutch. You happy with
Alright,
that?
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So do Do you just want to start engine and have a go, or do you want me to do a drive, and I just want me to talk you through it? Just a rough guide of what we're going to do.
No, no, go on. Can I just have a go?
Yeah.
Would that be all right?
Yeah. Just stop there, Bob. Put your handbrake on. What do you think happened there?
Well, I stalled it, haven't I?
Can I just make a suggestion there, Bob?
Yeah, yeah.
If it helps you, you can do this manoeuvre without having any gas on if you want.
Can I?
Yeah, you can do it with brake and clutch, with clutch control.
Oh.
Car will just, as long as the car's moving, the car won't stall. As long as it's moving, you can. If that's what you want to do, you can use gas if you want, but.
Well, I'll give it a go. So like what, like bringing it up to the bike with no gas on?
Yeah. Just keep your feet still.
Is that it?
Yeah. Just brake there, Bob. Just before, when car just starts to move, you need to put your full lock onto right straight
I
away.
forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as it starts to move, put your full lock onto right. Just press your brake, Bob. You're going too fast. Just stop there, Bob. You see how you went a little bit too quick there?
Yeah, it did a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going downhill now and all, aren't we?
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you went a bit too quick there?
Did I bring the clutch up a bit quick?
Yeah.
Right. But so if I let the brake go here, it's just going to roll downhill, isn't it? Does that look like coasting?
No, it's only going steady.
All right, okay.
You're going to virtually stop anyway near that grass.
And it's all right to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
So just stop there, Bob. Can I just come out of roll there?
Go on then.
I've just got a bit. I feel like I'm confused there.
It's all right, just take a moment.
Yeah.
Think about what you might do.
Because what I feel like doing now is starting from beginning gear and driving through.
Okay.
But you said you didn't want any help.
So what could you ask me at this point?
Can I make a suggestion, Bob? Do you want do you want me to just explain it? Just explain it first, and then
Yeah.
I'll let you have a go.
Or you could be saying, how's this having a go on your own working? Well, not very well.
Yeah.
Do you want to change the level of help? Oh yeah, could you give me a bit more help? Just ask.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's any different for a learner driver or an examiner? If I'm an examiner on part 3?
Not
How do you
really,
think,
no.
How do you think I would react to that question? You know, how's this working for you? Well, not very well. I've stalled them all over the shop, yeah. So do you want to change the level of help? How would he react, do you think?
I think you'll be alright with it.
There you go. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I feel like I'm getting... Like now, you've done that, and like because we're out of position now, I feel like a bit flustered.
Mm-hmm. So you need a bit of clear think time. Just so you've done the right thing, haven't you? Stop.
Mm.
Oh, hang on, what's happening here? So you've got to replay in your mind what's happening here. What's caused this? I wanted to have a go, but maybe it's not the right thing for me. Is there a way? I'm going to stop in the middle of the road because there's no. Is there a way you could have played that slightly differently? Do you think? Are you talking to me about level of help?
Could I try to persuade you, because you've never done it before, and then you say I want to go on my own?
You could have done,
Yeah.
but if you think about it in terms of finding the stuff out from me, how do I normally do it? Well, my last instructor talks me through it. Does that work for you? Yeah? Should we do that then?
Yeah. So I know I asked questions if you'd done straight reverse,
So
steering full
I
lock.
should have the skills in place.
Yeah.
But it might be worthwhile saying, well, how do you normally do it? Well, my instructor talks me through the first one. Do you want to do that? You offer me the option, do you want to have a go? I'm going, oh yeah. It's not really worked, has it? Not terribly well. So you just say, how's that working for you? Well, not very well. Do you want to change the level of support? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, can you give me a bit more help? So just a normal human interaction. Make it work for you.
Yep.
Back in a roll.
So we're going to start off from here.
Yeah.
Right then, Bob. How did you think that play with that?
Made a bit of a mess of it, haven't I?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
Do you want me to give you a lot more help?
Yeah, would that be alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, because we don't want you making a mess of it, and then you were getting all upset about it.
Yeah.
So, at this position now, Bob, if you prepare car to
reverse.
Just remember it's slightly uphill.
We're on a hill, aren't we?
Yeah, so you'll have to get your biting point.
A bit more gas and a bit more bite.
Yeah.
I'll let the handbrake go.
If you're on your biting point, yeah.
Oh,
Just remember to look through your rear window when you're going backwards. Just stop there, Bob, there's a car coming. Oh, why is he coming down here? Can you get around there?
No.
Yeah, what's he going to do?
It looks like he's waiting.
Do you want to... If you carry on with manoeuvre then, Bob.
Yeah.
If you look through your rear window,
Yeah.
just keep looking all around. Just put your steering onto the left, go on really quick, that's it. When you think you're near curb somewhere, near curb.
I think I'm near there.
Yeah. And handbrake into neutral. Prepare car to move again.
So he's still waiting?
Yeah, he's still waiting, you're alright.
So it's like...
Remember, get your biting point first.
Yeah.
As soon as the car starts to move, get your steering to right, that's it. But keep observing. He's doing a turn it road, Bob, look. You're alright there, Bob.
Can I get round there?
Yeah, you can get round there. Just about. Go on, get your steering that other way. That's it. And just pull up on the left.
Alright, let her roll. Talk me through that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I've got this thing inside that I'm thinking client-centred learning means you can't help anybody.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm thinking if I say anything to you, you're going to turn me on and say, "Oh, you're telling me stuff."
Well, I mean, I've done it. When you first asked me, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll never go on my own." Oh no, I don't want to. No. Oh no, go on, I will. So I'm not really sure, am I? So if you think about that, you think, well, okay, he doesn't seem sure. You might offer a suggestion. You might just say, "Well, how do you normally do it? How did your last instructor do it? Did that work for you?" And if he says, "Yeah," but he might say to you something like, "Well, I don't know. I thought that was the only way you could do it." Well, no, you could have a go on your own. I'd give you no help. I'd give you some help, just bits and pieces. So just with a real live learner, just play it that way. But if you think about it on the examiner's probably going to go. You just play it the way somebody would do normally. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a go at that. Yeah, I think yeah. Can I just have a go on my own? And then of course I've had a go. It sort of worked, but not terribly well. So you say, "All right, how was that?"
It's having that conversation and getting interactions.
And if you're asking good questions, you get good answers. Always.
Right then, Bob. Just 2 minutes. There's a guy at back. I don't know what he's doing. He's just walking in the middle of the road for some reason. What the heck is he doing? Is he filming us or what?
There's a drug deal going down. Well, that's what that posh car was here for.
Oh yeah, and he might.
Anyway, back and roll.
There's a drug sniffer dog, look. Right then, Bob. Are you alright to give it another go?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But do you want me to talk you through it again? Because I think when we first started it and you gave it a go, I think you got a bit flustered.
Yeah.
So do you want me to give you plenty of help this time and see if we can crack it, see if we can get on top of it?
We can do.
Yeah.
Let me just break the rule there. So if you're having the conversation, there's two choices for me now, isn't there? I can have some help from you or not.
Yeah.
But in reality, what do I need from you? What do I? Is this learning here? What is it that I need?
You need to know how to do it in your head first.
Learning needs to happen.
Yeah.
Does that necessarily have to come from you?
No, you might say now, I'll give it a go. But my instincts now, if you were a real learner, I'd be thinking, it's going back to you think that you want to put it in, because with that first go, I'm assuming that you're not going to do it right. You might all of a sudden do it right, you don't know.
I might do. I might have learned something from it, I might not. How are you going to find out?
Just letting you have a go, if you
Maybe.
want to.
How about, if you wouldn't mind me making a suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay, you've had a go now. How was that?
Yeah.
Well, it was sort of alright. It was a bit messy. What could you do different this time to change that? Maybe go a bit slower. How do you think you might do that? Maybe not bring the clutch up as much. Alright. Anything else you might do? Because we didn't really get it round as far as we wanted.
That's what I was going to say to you then, yeah.
Maybe I could put more steering on. Okay, do you want to try that and see?
I didn't give a briefing. You just said I want to have a go on my own, didn't you?
Yeah. So it's just a case of finding out what you need to know and filling in the gaps. So I've had a go at it. One brilliant, one bad.
Yeah.
Okay, not bad for a first bash. But what have we learned from that? And that would work with a learner driver or with an examiner on exam. So how was that? Well, very good. What could you change about that? Well, I don't know, maybe I could try this. Okay, shall we try that and see? Or you might go, do you know what, I just don't know. Do you want me to tell you? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, we need to be a bit slower, we need to get more steering on.
Yeah.
So you're just a conversation. How can I help you best? How can I help you to learn? That's what it's all about. The DVSA have continually said for the last 30 years, learning needs to take place. So ascertain what learning has taken place. There might be none. Don't know. But the guy on exam, same as learner drivers, he's not trying to trip you up. He's just having an honest engagement with you about what he thinks about what's going on. Does that make sense? Is it?
Yeah, it all makes sense. It's just getting it to sink in. Yeah.
I think the key thing is remembering that it doesn't all have to come out of you. It actually has to come out of me. And that's the same for examiners, learners, doesn't matter who it is. So, back in a roll. Over to you.
Right then, Bob. How much help? What level of help do you want from me now? Do you want me to talk you through it again, or do you want to have a go and see what you like? Do you feel like you've learned from that last one?
Well, I've learned I can't do it as well as I thought I could do it.
So, do you want to give it another go, or do you want me to explain a little bit in more detail to you?
Well,
Which bits do you think that you got wrong? Starting from when we first set off. What do you think your speed were like?
Well, it was a bit quick, wasn't it?
So
if I maybe went a bit slower, did you say that would help?
Yeah, if you go a little bit slower.
All right.
Because do you feel as though when we set off we were a bit quick and then you couldn't get your steering on?
I did. Yeah. There wasn't enough time.
Because if we keep his speed nice and low, and then fast steering,
I'd have more time.
Yeah, then car will go where you want it.
So I'd maybe not bring the clutch up as much. Maybe.
No, just keep it at biting point. Just keep your feet dead still when the car starts to move. If you just keep it dead still and then put loads of steering on. Fast hands, slow feet.
I did that on my reversing last week. He was saying that I was a bit quick then and all. I remember now when I slowed it down it was easier. So a bit slower with the car. Yeah. A bit faster with the steering.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
When we actually get to other side of the road, just as we're about to get close to the curb, do you know which way to turn the steering wheel?
So I've got it that way.
Yeah. So just as we get to curb, about 2 feet away, which way do you need to be turning its steering wheel?
I thought I could just turn it that way till I get it round.
Yeah, but just before we get to the curb, if you turn the steering wheel back to the left as much as you can, you know why it'd be a good idea to do that?
No.
So when we come to set off, the car's already in that position.
Oh right.
We go back. So you don't need to worry about steering.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So do you want to break it down into parts, or do you just want to have a...
No, I think that makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So slower, faster steering.
Yeah.
Nice,
right, nice steady feet and quick steering. Yeah. It'll take a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it'll be second nature to you.
I think I've got that, yeah. So I just have another go?
Yeah. Always remember, I can keep us safe.
Oh yeah.
The pedals.
I forgot you have got them. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to need them.
So slower. Yeah. Is that all right? Is that a bit slow? Is that not too slow?
No, it's perfect. As soon as you start to move now, if you put that steering on to the right really quick, but keep your feet dead still.
All right. Well, that's easier.
Remember, as soon as you get over this camber bit, it's going to go downhill. So you take your foot. Yeah. And then as soon as you get to...
What did you say about the steering again? Was it
steer to...
Other way?
Yeah. So as you're getting close to that curve, steer the other way now, that's it. And then brake and clutch down to stop. Keep your feet still, that's it.
That's a bit easier. I think now.
Biting point.
Oh yeah.
you get to biting point, keep your feet still so we don't roll. Remember, it's downhill. As soon as you go backwards, Bob, you need to be looking out at back window.
Oh, right.
That's it.
Oh.
That's a little bit more steering to the left, Bob, that's it. Keep your feet dead still. Look in both directions, up and down road, in case there's pedestrians or cars. As soon as you're getting close to this curb, Bob, keep going and steer to the right really quickly. That's it. Keep your feet still.
Oh,
That's it.
Oh, that's a bit easier.
All round observations again. And then just pull up on the left when it's safe. How did you feel that one?
Oh, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Did you feel like you had a lot more time because you were going slower?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, that's it was better than the first go, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, what do you want to have another go? Are you happy with that?
No, I wouldn't mind another go.
What level of help this time? Do you just want to have a go on your own, or?
Would that be all right?
Yeah, but I'm still here in case you need me. If you want to ask any questions,
Yeah, so could I have a go on my own and you let me know if I'm messing it up?
Yeah.
Would that be all right?
Yeah. And if you get any problems or you panic or out like that, just stop car, make sure it's safe, and then just ask me a question.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, have a go now.
Yeah.
I'll be all right to go with him, won't I?
Yeah, you should be alright. It's just when we reverse across that you might have to.
Okay.
That's good speed. Just keep
And then-
speed down as you get closer to curb. Steer to the left quickly. That's it. Super. Right. Before we go back now, Bob, what can you see in your mirrors?
Oh yeah, there's them people with a dog, isn't it? Shall I let them go by?
Yeah, we'll let them go by.
Oh, okay.
So you know what dogs are like. Is it on a lead?
It is. It wasn't before though, was it? Oh,
Yeah, make sure you look through your back window, Bob, when you set off.
oh yeah.
No, back window, yeah. And then up and down road. Keep your speed low. Slow down a bit, Bob.
Okay.
That's it. Well done with steering. Yeah, that's alright.
It's hard to tell how close I am to the curb. I think I'm fairly close there, but you can't really tell, can you?
Well, it don't matter, Bob.
Can I open the door and have a look?
Yeah, as long as it's safe, just make sure it's safe before you do.
Well, there's
And-
loads of room.
Yeah. A lot of people use reference points, but even if we'd have touched that, it's
Yeah.
just in these early stages of learning. It's just trial and error, and you'll get to know. We'll gauge it, and eventually you'll get it where you just know it off by heart.
There's a bit more room than I thought there was. Okay.
Because on certain roads, if it's narrow, then you need to get a bit closer to the curb to make the manoeuvre. Don't matter if
Shall I go
it's
forward?
yeah. Don't matter if you take 5 or 6 goes, as long as you're safe. It's called a 3-point turn, but it don't matter if you take more, as long as you're safe.
All right, had a roll. Talk me through that.
I feel it wasn't too bad that. I feel as if I had a real learner and I kept just turning roads, I'd be alright.
Look at the process that you're starting to put in place. You're starting to ask the questions there. That's the area where if we can develop that and if we can identify and meet the needs of the learner. But when we're doing that, I think there's still a slight tendency for you to say, well look, I've got all this information here, make a choice from this. We just say, well, all right, what have you learned from that then? How was that? What might you do different next time? You could also, and it's a good one to ask, what would success at this look like to you? What would the perfect turn of the road look like? What do you think that would be?
What to me?
Well,
To you.
to the learner.
Yeah.
And then you say, oh well, it's or you might start off by saying stuff like, well, any idea how you might do this? Oh, well, I'll probably do this. I'll probably do that. Okay. Then what level of help do you want from me? It's all just that nice little process. The key thing, of course, is listening.
I know that's my problem. I'm not used to listening to people. Well, I have in past, but not in the last few years. But
So
I
in the
feel-
early
yeah,
in the early stages, I'm saying, "Oh, I'd like to go." Oh, I'm not sure. Oh no, I would like to go. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And you can tell just by my demeanour. So okay, look, how do you normally do it? What level of support was your last instructor giving you? So establish what he knows, and what he's already experienced, and then adapt according to the answer you're given.
I feel as though inside you've got to feel like you want to help somebody learn as well. I know that once I've passed this, I'm going to feel a lot more relaxed and actually want that learner to learn. I can feel it inside getting as I'm having more sessions and looking at books at home and talking to her lass. Because soon as she gets a provisional back, we're going to be out.
Okay. I mean, that's something we can do. We'll maybe do some lessons in here. I'll just sit in the back and watch and see how we go.
Yeah.
The key thing is once you get that little sort of rapport and that question and answer thing going, is then looking at the constraints of the Part 3 test and thinking, well, what limitations does that put on it? There's no time wasted on Part 3. The dialogue you're having with them, everything means something. So if I'm humming and hawing about the way I give you an answer, there's something to read from that. What is it? Okay. What might I do
What
there?
if the examiner, if he's humming and ahhing?
Yeah. How was that? I think it was okay. He doesn't really believe it was okay, does he? If he goes, no, that was great. He thinks it's okay.
So if I got this on, is this going to be a phase 1 or a phase 2?
Phase 1.
Phase 1, is that examiner just wanting to that learning has taken place? He's not going to all of a sudden do a perfect turn it road, is he? Or is he after 25 minutes?
It depends on how it's set up. He might not. I mean, he's not going to do it perfect straight off the bat. But again, we've got to destroy any idea that, by giving them the perfect brief, you're going to stop them making mistakes, because you're just not. That's not how the world works. It's not how it works with learner drivers. That's not how it's going to work with him. But they're not trying to trip you up. There's no traps being set. It's not.
I'm up. What we've just done there, I'm alright, apart from that first bit when you said, I can do it on my own, and then you were doing everything wrong. That threw me off there, because you just threw me off because you were doing everything wrong, and I assumed that because you said that you could do it right, that you're just going to be perfect, and you wasn't. So
there's a word you just used there.
Assume. I know, I use it a lot because.
Does it ever serve you well, this assumption?
No. If you're driving along that road and you assume that somebody's going to pull out of a junction, they'll pull out.
Of course not.
But when you set off a bit quick,
Yeah.
if that were on my test, do I get straight in there? Yeah. Can you just stop car a minute and bill or whatever you? Do you think that were a little bit too quick?
The way you played it there, do you think it worked for this learner?
Yeah.
Do you think it would work on test?
Depends what role he's playing, doesn't it?
Well, if I was playing the role of that learner, do you think it would work?
Yeah, I can't see why. No.
So we've got there's some the elements that we need. And our core competencies, we've got to be able to spot the fault or the risk. Better still if we can get the driver to spot it. We've then got to analyse. Again, if you can get self-analysis to happen, okay, this is where we are. Why has that happened? And you might be like, I don't know, it was alright. Do you think it's alright to do it at that speed? Yeah. Why do you think it's alright to do it at that speed? What difficulties has that created? Well, it was hard to get my steering on, so do you think by doing it slower, it might help you? Maybe. He doesn't believe you. He said, do you think doing it slower would help? Yeah, probably. When you're doing your reversing, when you're going around the corner, was doing it slow helpful then? Oh yeah. Do you think it'll be helpful here? Oh yeah, I can see it would, yeah. So by the response you're getting,
you've got to adapt to what they're telling you, haven't you?
It's the most important. You've got to listen.
If you're not listening and you're not adapting to what he's saying, then it's just going to be a disaster, isn't it?
And these are where the stories start. Oh, the bloody examiner tried to trip me up. No, he didn't. You weren't listening to what he was saying to you. Do you think that would help you? Maybe. And then of course he does it fast again, because he doesn't believe that doing it slow will help him. And then of course we keep at it, we're doing it too fast again, and that's where it starts, where your candidate sat on a Part 3, they sat on a Part 3 test thinking, he's done it again. I've taught him about this, I've given him all this wonderful information, and yet he's ignoring it.
Like there, I think we used quite a different levels there, didn't we? Because you were going to do it yourself at first, you made loads of mistakes, and I'd come in, we had to talk about how much help you wanted from me, and we're talking you through it a little bit and asking you questions. There were quite a lot. I'm quite pleased with that.
I mean, I used the role I was playing there, and I bounced around a bit because I wanted to see if you were going to adapt, if you were going to change what you were doing, and you did. And that's key. It really is important. If what you're doing isn't working, you've got to be prepared to change and prepared to stop and say, well, hang on a second, is this working? Now, you could argue one way or another that what you did was right or it wasn't. If you intervene the way you did and it gets worse, clearly what you've done hasn't worked. If it gets better, clearly what you've done has helped. But again, always try and throw it back here. Okay, so what have you learned from that?
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit quick. What difficulties did that present you? Well, I couldn't get the steering on. So you're saying you need to go slower? Yeah. How do you think you might do that?
That's
well,
probably
I'm not right sure. When you were doing your reverse, and what did you do there? Oh, I've dipped the clutch a bit. So do you think that would help you here? All right, I'll give it a go. So do you want to try that and say, yeah. So I'm compliant and I'm taking part. Where if I'm going, I suppose, I'm not believing what you're saying. So in the same interactions you would have with somebody if you're chatting about football in the pub, you know whether somebody agrees with you by the way they respond.
You know, if you get Turnip Road and it's a totally flat road, camber. Have you got to mention camber? Would it be?
Well, what do you think would happen if you didn't to a learner driver?
Well, if it were flat, it wouldn't make a difference. But if it had camber, they're gonna. If car speeds up to curb,
the car speeding up.
Yeah. So you'd have to step in.
So why do you think that is? I don't know. Well, look at the road here. Oh, right.
If you had if you want your test and you're a genuine learner, would it be all right just to apologise that you didn't mention about camber?
What do you reckon?
I only say that because I've seen you on videos and you sometimes do apologise because it shows that you're human and you're not this high and mighty high-recce person.
That's right. Now, the thing is, with a learner driver, you might get away with flamming them through and going, oh, but with an examiner, if you try and, flam your way through it, do you think he knows that you've made a mistake?
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared to admit it, you'll be like, well, come on, you've made a mess of that.
Yeah.
Say something. I don't think it hurts. Just be human. Oh, sorry, do you know what? I forgot to tell you about that. Oh, well, we can talk about it now.
You know that when you're on about reference, when you open your door, you're allowed to do that? Because when you...
Well, was there any harm in doing what we did there?
No, as long
with
as...
a real live learner?
As long as it's safe.
Yeah. Oh, I've got loads of room. I've learnt from that, haven't I? Oh, wow. Yeah. What I sometimes do is say, well, I'll tell you what, it's only a small curb. Let it gently roll back until the wheel touches the curb. Oh, right, there's loads of room. Now you know where it is.
Because a lot of people use that reference point. Well, they haven't got them in this car, but in my Vectra, you've got a button here. And a lot of people say when that touches curb, but what happens if they're in a different car, it's longer, and there's some pedestrians, and they go by that reference point and hit them?
Yeah. What if it's the same reference point if I'm this tall?
Yeah.
If I'm this tall? If I'm sitting here? If I'm sitting here? It's a nonsense.
But you can use it if you need to.
If you need to, you can just say, if you're saying, I cannot judge it, I just cannot get it. Well, look, here's something you can try. Try lining that up. Oh, that's better. It's fine. But our judging of things, we had an interesting discussion about it this morning in the office. It's, on Danielle's last lesson, she said, well, I'm just guessing. And I was saying to her, yeah, she's not guessing at all. She's judging it based on a lifetime of experience. So it's, if you like, it's educated guesswork, because I've got a bit of an idea about how long the car is and how wide the road is. I'm not stupid, I can work that out. So in terms of helping this learner develop, what would you do next, do you think? Is there anything about it that you're not happy with?
In my head, what I'm thinking now is because we've only done 3. You've got to ask. The only way you can do it is by asking them. Are you happy with that? Are you happy to move on to something else, or do you want to give it another go? Or do you think the skills, what you've learned in this one, do you think you're happy with them and you can take them into another manoeuvre?
Okay, well, I'll drop in at one go. I think I'm happy with that, yeah. I'll come back at a roll. Are you happy with it?
My instincts are saying I'd like you to have another go, but...
Why do you want me to have another go?
I know, it's not assuming that...
No, let's assume you're right. Why do you want to have another go?
It's probably because I'm thinking that it ain't up to my standard of what I'd do.
What's different about your standard to the standard I've just shown you?
Well, it's not standard, it's having total confidence.
What do you do that I haven't?
It might just be where I'm thinking, like 100%. If I did this, if you asked me to do a Turnip Road now, I'd know it 100% nearly in my mind I'd do it perfect. Whereas, because you've only done it 3 times, I'd be thinking in my mind, are you... So if I could ask that question, are you What percentage in your mind are you happy with that manoeuvre if you had a test tomorrow?
Well, I'll be all right. Yeah,
What percentage do you think it'd be?
100%.
So you can't really go.
You can though, can't you?
What would,
There's an element missing, isn't there? I've done the physical manoeuvre. I've got the car round in 3.
yeah.
What have I not done?
Done it without my help?
No, not necessarily. How's my observation?
I've had to talk you through that.
It's not very good, is it?
No.
Well, that's not a problem,
Yeah.
but it's not good.
I know why I missed. Because I asked the questions, it's that assuming again. When we were at centre before we started, I said, "Have you prepared, observed, manoeuvre?" And because you told me that you'd observed, I'm assuming that you're going to observe on here. That everything's going to be perfect. You're going to do it right.
If you asked me about that, what might I say to you? I thought you said you didn't prepare, observe, move. I have. You know, when I'm moving away from here, I like check my mirrors and I check my blind spot. If there's somebody coming, I signal. But I'm not looking through the back window, am I? I'm not taking effective observation here. So
I picked up on it that
you were mentioning it, so you know it's there. But you might, okay, we've done that now. Okay, well, how do you think your observation was? Well, it's not a problem because I was watching for you.
So if we'd have been still in roll now, I could say, how do you think your observation was? It wasn't that good because you had to tell me, well, do you want to have another go at it?
And that's the way it would work. You'd say, how do you think your observation was? Well, I think it was all right, but oh, wait a minute, you had to tell me a couple of times, didn't you?
No.
So what do we need to do about observation? Where do you think we need to be looking? And now learning's happening.
Yeah.
But you're not having to tell me. You just had a conversation about it. So how do you think your observation was? I thought it was good. Well, actually, I had to tell you a few times, didn't I? Oh, yes, so you did. So it just depended on the response. How do you think your observation was? Well, actually, it was a bit poor, wasn't it? Because you got to tell me. Well, they're totally different responses, but all right, in light of that, do you think you want to do a bit of work on that? Yeah, I wouldn't mind, yeah.
So if this were a real life situation, and after about another 3 or 4 goals, or how many you had, they started to do it virtually perfect. You're going to come back to turn it when you move on to something else. You're going to come back to turn it road anyway, aren't you? Once you get to a certain level.
It doesn't have to be perfect before we sign it off for a learner driver. Okay, we have to leave that there. Yeah.
I know, because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's fine. On the exam, though, because of the constraints of the exam, they'll want it fixing. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it perfect, but you should be along that path. It's okay. You wouldn't be saying, do you want to leave it alone now? Because you'd be going, yeah, all right then. What if you've got 20 minutes left? So you just say, okay, how was that? I think it was all right. Okay, let's break it down to its component parts. Control, observation, accuracy. It's always a great guide for these. How was your control? Well, it was better the second time. Do you think there's still a bit of work to do on that? Yeah, I think if I can get it a bit slower, maybe. Okay, so mark yourself at a 10, maybe. Or, 7. What would it take to get that to a 10? Slower with the car, maybe faster with my hands. How about your accuracy? Oh, I got it round in 3. On that last one, it was great. Could you replicate that? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Give yourself a mark in that one, probably 9. What would a 10 be? Well, if I got it round with a bit more room, it's better if I could do it on a narrower road, whatever it happens to be. How do you think your observation was? Well, I think it was alright. Well, I had to remind you a couple of times, didn't I? Yeah. So give yourself a score for that. That's probably a 5.
You can see how easy you're doing. Like, if there were an examiner there now and he didn't know you were an instructor, you'd talk. Where you're saying it, you've only been talking for a minute and the question's there's quite a lot.
Well, it's just a simple process.
Yeah.
And I'm just leading, but the key thing, where's he come from?
Is that a guitar?
Interesting. Anyway, so the simple process is there. The most important part is not the question you ask necessarily, but the response you get.
Yeah.
And then listening to that and thinking, all right, okay. And sometimes you'll be thinking, I'm not sure what you mean. Just give me a bit more detail on it. Just clarify that for me. And then based on that, all right, then in light of that, if you were going to have another go, well, firstly, would you like to have another go? Yeah. On this one, what are we looking to improve? Now, any learner is going to go, well, hang on a second. If you've helped them review what went well, what didn't, what do I want to fix? Oh, probably this. How do you think you might do that? Now, the examiner might not want to play that, or only say, I'm not really sure. He wants to see that you've got the knowledge. Once you've asked them the first time, you might then drop that and go, oh, okay, he's got the knowledge. So that you just back and forward, but really listening, and I mean really, really listening, and then thinking about the answer you've got.
Yeah, because
how did that feel?
Yeah, it felt alright.
Okay.
It feels good when you see learning happening, it does make you feel confident that you're actually saying right stuff.
You'll see with real live learners, it works an absolute charm. It'll work the same with an examiner if you're asking the right questions and you're listening to the answers.
If I had a presenter here, it'd just make it worse for me to listen, because you'd be looking at this and trying to look.
So do you think, looking back at that, do you think you got the information you needed to be confident about having a go?
What you?
From me? When you were your question? Did it help you get what you needed from me?
Yeah, it made me think. Yeah, it made me think and how to adapt it.
Is there a different way you could do that?
What, adapting to different?
Yeah, if we're just about to have a go at something like this, okay, turn the road. No, I've not done this before. There's a very easy question. Because what you need to do is to find out what I know and then fill the gaps. So what's the simplest question in those circumstances?
Have you done any manoeuvres before?
Could be. That's not the simplest one. That's a bit open-ended.
Have you done turn it round before?
Tell me what you know about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and he might go, I don't know. Just that first question. Now you've got a bit of an idea. About
that question. It's just that question. What you said there. Tell me what you know about this.
Tell me what you know about this.
I bet many people doesn't know what this is. There must have been at some point they've been out in a taxi or something and they've turned round it road.
They'll have an idea, won't they? Or even if they haven't, they might be able to think, we're turning the road, so well, if I need to go that way, well, I can't steer that way, so I'll probably have to go that way. I'll probably not make it round in one, so I'm probably going to have a shunt back over and then take another go forward.
Because probably another answer, if they've been in taxis, is, I've seen taxi driver, he just puts one hand and he just goes like that and he goes to the other side, then he puts it in reverse and he goes like that. And that, at the end of the day, that's all it. You can complicate, but all it is drive over there, reverse over there and go.
So that's it. That's all it is. We've got one or two complications that might present themselves with various things, depending on what his controls are. But tell me what you know about this. Now, if you say that to an examiner, what do you think he's going to do?
He's going to tell you what he knows.
Yeah.
If he knows.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
He's not going to go, no. And he's not going to give you a bum steer by telling you he knows stuff that he doesn't. And he might tell you he doesn't know things that he does, because he might go, I don't think I know anything about this. And you say, well, okay, well, we need to do it at a slow speed. Do you know how to do that? Oh yeah, I did that on my reversing last week. Okay, so do you think that applies here? Oh, I suppose it does, really.
If he says I don't know I haven't done any manoeuvres and this is the first one I've done, but I've done straight line reverse, but he's a bit unsure, the probability is he's going to ask for a full explanation on it.
He might not. How does he normally learn? So on your last lessons, how have you done that? Has your instructor helped you a lot? Has he not helped you at all? How's that worked? Well, he helped me a lot to begin with, and then he helped me less and less. Did that work for you? Yeah.
Only reason why I'm asking that is it's going back to that old way again, because when you always say fetch the materials in from home, but when you look at them materials, it just, because it's on the list in it, introduction, recap, briefing, you just think you've got to give a briefing.
Well, yeah,
and
you don't always, no.
But only way you'll find that out is by using this and using them.
Well, them first, obviously.
Listening.
Well, you've got to use that first. Ask the question, listen to what they're saying. So how's that? How do your lessons normally get done? How do you learn best? And even an examiner role, he'll have an idea. He'll give you the answer. It's just like, well, yeah, my last guy used to just like ask me a few questions and then we'd have a go. Or he might say, I used to use that like a presenter thing and then talk me through stuff. Did that work for you? I don't really know. I found it boring. Well, do you want me to do it without that? Oh, could you? Or he might say, use that. Was that useful to you? Oh God, yeah. I like having all the information before I do it.
If you're in middle of your test in a live situation, and we get a situation where that white car were coming down before, and say if the road's got a really massive camber on it, and you're in the middle of your part 3 exam, is he just going to are you just going to conduct that as if it were a real lesson? If that guy's waiting for you, then just wait.
Is there anything wrong with what happened there? He was waiting, clearly, wasn't he? He wasn't encroaching on us.
I don't know why he turned around.
I don't know why he was doing it. You might say, well, okay, let's just keep an eye on him, though.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on him as well.
Because that could make you fluster. If you're nervous and you see that car, that could make you fluster.
Or if the guy's creeping towards you and he's like, then you say, okay, let's just sit still. Hang on a second and wave him by. Or if he was being let's just take it back to where we are. But it depends on where you are in the manoeuvre.
Examiner ain't going to come out at roll and say how to roll. I'm going to...
He might. Depends. I've seen that happen where somebody's acting like a complete and utter fool. The examiner said, I'm coming on a roll. He just pulled it around forward. Let me go, okay, back and roll now. Because they won't compromise safety. So you would just play it as though it was real. So that feels like a bit of a step in the right direction today. It's just, I mean, it still needs polish.
It does, I feel, yeah. It's getting me to feel like I've got a real learner. I still know it's you there. But saying that could go the wrong way, because if I had a real life learner, it might make you feel relaxed and you won't sit. And subconsciously in your mind, you might be thinking, you're not thinking, but you might think, oh, because it's a learner, they're not going to know if I make a mistake. Whereas because you're there, you're going to pick up on everything. And I bet that's what that's what maybe a lot of instructors do.
The word that you've used, assumption, it's the number one route to failure on part 3. Assuming stuff. It'll never serve you well, making assumptions, never. Just ask, listen, respond to what you're being told. And I promise you, if you get into the mode of listening, the guy on the exam is going to give you so much help, it's unbelievable. But you've got to hear what he's saying. Also, react to his body language, because if he's making a fault, let's say, for example, this is another conversation we had in the office this morning. If he's driving along here, and let's say he's skimming parked cars, he's getting too close to them. He said, do you think this is the right spacing between the car? Yeah.
And I'd say to him, why do you think that?
Or if you go, well, yeah, I think so. He's not so sure. But if he goes, yeah, but that's it. Why do you think this is okay? Well, my dad was telling me that I shouldn't be too far out in the middle of the road. I watch my mates drive, this is what they do.
So I'd probably say, what happens if somebody opened that door on that car and you were so close, what do you think would happen?
Bingo. So now you're on the consequences of it.
Yeah. Then you'd have to, if he keeps doing it, you're just going to have to, if you ain't got time to pull over, you're going to have to do it on move.
So if you ask that question, see, this is key. You ask that question, which is a great question. Consequences. What's going to happen if somebody opens that car door? Yeah, it'll be alright. What does that tell you about the person? Has he agreed with you or not?
No. That tells you that he's not bothered.
Whoa.
I'll probably say something like, what happens if you bought a brand new car and he opens the door and you smash into it? Are you going to be happy?
I'll move out. I've got fast reflexes, me. I'm alright.
Then you're going to have to say, you're definitely too close to them cars, so can I make a suggestion? When we get to the next one, I'll prompt you for how far out you need to be.
So they've got to buy in, haven't they? And they're not going to. You can tell whether somebody's buying into what you're saying. So you just say what you're going to do if somebody opens that car door. Oh God, yeah. Oh hell, I'm too close on it. I agree with you, don't I? But if I'm going, it'll be all right. I don't agree with you.
Yeah, if you get somebody what says, oh, I'm not bothered, my dad does it. That's a different feeling what you're getting from them, because you think that's where you've got to jump in, because if you don't jump in quick and he has that assumption after his test,
can't allow this. So we're too close. We need to allow that car door to open, because if we don't, also this could happen. Oh no, all right. So let's on this next car here, put yourself out a bit wider. How was that? Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Could a car door open now? Yeah. How does that compromise anybody's safety? Or, what our actions now have led to a safe outcome. You can be saying stuff like, but can you control what that guy in that car is going to do? Well, I suppose not. Well, if he opens that car door, where are you now? So what's the consequences of that? Then what can happen? All right. But it's by gauging the response you're getting, you can tell whether somebody buys into what you're saying or not.
Does, in your experience of setting it back on part 3, does examiners say that a lot? Well, I don't know.
All the time.
Why have I got to keep distance?
I'm talking about it. It's all right. No wrong with that. And the reason he's giving you that response is because you have not convinced him yet that he's wrong and you're right, that he needs to change his behaviour. And we know how to read these situations because we do it in everyday life.
When you're driving along, it's like you said to me, try to put your commentary driving to questions and listen. Because when you're driving along, before I couldn't see it, but when you're driving correctly and you're driving properly and safe, you see all these situations and you can see things. I can see things now before they actually happen.
But it also reminds you how badly you used to drive.
Because you assume, it's like going down here with that entrance there. Yeah. Now, as I'm driving along, I'm thinking a car could come there.
Somebody may come out, how hard can I brake?
Yeah, look how closed it is. Whereas before, I just thought, no, it's going to come there.
Can't be anybody coming this time of day.
Yeah, I've got ABS, that's like somebody coming there.
Right on cue. So it's just learning to gauge the reactions of the human being that's sat next to you. And it'll tell you a lot of stuff.
My level's going to go Rocky, when girlfriend gets that provisional back, because all I'm doing is going out and playing 2 roles. I was down Selcombe Road again the other day. We were moving off and stopping and gear changes, and I played 2 roles. It's not perfect, but people must think I'm nuts if they're coming by.
It's him again. Mum, it's that bloke again. What's he doing?
But it is it'll be better when I get with some real people.
So in light of what we've done there, what's up for us on our next trip out?
It might be better to do some more fault spotting than that.
Okay.
And trying to put it right on move.
Do you want to do a bit of that on the way back to the office?
Yeah.
Or do you want to leave it till next time and tell you?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of faults. Yeah, for start foot way back, and then we'll talk about it.
So, spot the fault. So remember, it's see it, say it, sort it.
Yeah.
But the sort it is the most important bit.
And we'll do faults what you can sort up move.
All right.
Well, you probably can sort everything unless it's really, really bad. Whereas you just take your hands off the wheel and not put it on at all.
Okay. So, we'll keep it as Bob. And we'll roll now. To the second road on the right. This one's the first.
I'm going to take the second road on the right, this being the first. How do you think your positioning is turning right in here, Bob?
Oh, sorry, I think.
Do you think that you cut the corner?
Well, I did a little bit, but there's nobody about.
Yeah. What happens if there'd have been somebody coming now?
There wasn't, was there?
No, but that it could turn into a problem now if you keep doing it. Do you want me to just keep my eye on you and just prompt you on next one?
Well, if you like.
Just seemed to come a little bit too fast as well, didn't you, into that junction, do you think? That's why you cut it, yeah.
All right. I thought it was okay.
Definitely a little bit too quick.
So let me pop out a roll just for a second. We'll do it on the move. Based on my reaction to what you said.
First of all, you said, I thought you were alright.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I said, do you want me to, I'll prompt you on next one, because
What did I say to you then?
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, if you like. Have I agreed with it? Do I think you're
Not
right?
really, no, so I've got to...
So you're going to have to be on this guy, aren't you? So it's, I've not really bought into what you've told me. So again, you'll instinctively know.
What about your signal, Bob?
Oh yeah.
Speed limit is it round here?
Oh, it's 20 here, isn't it?
One-way system. We're turning right at end of the road.
Yeah.
End of this road, Bob, we're turning right. So remember, it's a one-way system. We're getting it right on lane.
Oh yeah.
What about your positioning there, Bob?
That's all right, I think.
Yeah. I think it could have been a little bit more that way. Because what do you think then people think if you're positioned here? Do you think they might get the impression that you might want to turn that way?
They might, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. Shall I put my signal on, do you think?
Yeah. I forgot about that. Make sure you signal. You didn't signal on that one.
Well, I didn't think I needed to with it being like left lane for left and right lane for right.
Well, it lets people know on main road which way you're going. They might not realise this is a one way.
So, at a roll. My response to you that time?
A little bit better. So I've got to, when you come up to them, I know you've got a problem with positioning now, so you've done it a few times, so
But this
I'm going to
time,
make sure it don't happen.
from your question, and I reacted quite a different way, didn't I? What did I say to you when you said, do you think those people might think you're going to go?
Oh, you went, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they probably would.
Yeah, whereas other time you
I then feed you something else. Oh, should I put my signal on them?
and you said, why do you have to signal? It's one way.
Yeah, but it's fixed the other problem. Probably halfway there to fix it. Because of the way I've responded, you know that I'm kind of buying it. Oh, right. Well, I see what you mean. Should I put my signal on? I'm accepting now. I've made a mistake here. So the reality is then, do you need a signal? Staying on a roll here for a second. Do you need a signal right there?
said yeah because I thought that them people on main road who want to see you, that they might not realise that it's a one way. They're on main road.
Yeah.
So if you signal, they know that you're coming out.
So that's it. Well, do these people know it's a one way? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you signal. Oh, I should then, shouldn't I? So gauge the response you're getting from the learner. Back in the roll.
Yeah. Why do you think it's important to stick to the speed limit here, 20 mile an hour? What can you see up there?
Oh, it's lollipop lady.
Yeah. What could you expect running in the middle of these cars?
Maybe a bit quick on that.
Yeah.
Maybe some kids about.
It's wagging as well, Bob. So what's the first thing you're going to do when you slow down?
Yeah, check me out.
What can you see ahead now?
Oh, there's some kiddies again.
Speed
Some
limit.
cars, yeah. Oh, yeah, changed about a 30. 30 would be a bit quick, yeah, wouldn't it?
Because we're going up to lights, you know we're going to be stopping anyway.
So if you think about what have I just said to you there? Oh, 30 would be a bit quick, yeah, wouldn't it? So I'm clearly accepting what you've said to me about the 20 earlier on.
And I just reiterated it saying we're coming up to lights anyway, so you're probably going to be slowing down.
So you can tell a lot from the response you get from people.
It is listening. It's like you've been telling me then, and I'm only listening to it's unbelievable. They should have degrees on listening because it's unbelievable.
Well, there are degrees of listening, aren't there?
Politicians don't listen. All they do is just run off. If you ask them a question, they'll just give you an answer. What? They won't give you an answer. They'll just go on that.
Well, everybody knows, don't they? You ask politicians questions, they don't answer them. So we know when somebody's answering.
Because they'll come back to bite them later on.
So, by listening to what the response and the way that they're responding, it can tell you so much about whether your message is taking root or not. Anyway, back in a row.
Right, we're going to turn right at this junction, Bob. So if you put your indicator on.
Okay.
Remember your position as well, because we're turning right.
Oh, it's tricky this one, isn't it?
Yeah. We're crossing over traffic as well, so you'll have to make sure you're not making them slow down. You'll have to stop here. Stop here, Bob, that's it. Just make sure. Do you think you can go before that wagon yet?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
A little bit wide there, Bob. Why do you think it's a good idea to get good position if you're turning right, left, or going straight? Why do you think it's important to get that good position early?
Well, I suppose it keeps the job neater, doesn't it? I mean, not like at that last junction.
What do you think could happen here, Bob, with this wide car?
You might pull out. There's nobody behind.
Yeah, if you're positioning bad and the guy at the back,
I get the wrong impression.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So, popping in a roll. Why is my position poor? Any idea?
Well, I've had to ask you the question. The first question I probably asked you is, what do you think your positioning was right?
No, it wasn't. So, if I respond that way,
Yeah. Why do you think it was wrong, your positioning?
I'm not sure.
Then I feel like I want to prompt you on next ones then.
Maybe, but go on, continue the conversation.
If you're coming up to a T-junction, Bob, and you're turning right, where do you need to position?
What, you mean like coming out of a T-junction or going in?
Coming out of a T-junction.
It's just inside the line, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're turning left.
Like tucked into the left.
Yeah. So why do you think, when we turn right on that one, why did you think you were a little bit wide on that junction back there?
I'm not sure. As I came up, I was in the right position when I came up.
Do you think it was your steering that you didn't steer enough?
I thought I did, but I had a bit of an adjustment.
Just out of all there, but
Go on.
I'm going around houses now trying to find why. I asked you about the T-junction to clarify that you knew about.
I know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I thought it was so. Where was I looking?
Where were you looking when we turned right? Were you looking at that wagon in front? Yeah, I didn't spot that. Yeah, if you're looking there, then you're going to go wide because you're not. It's like when I pass my motorbike. Listen, they always say, don't look at the bend, look round the bend, follow it round.
Yeah. So it's you can tell when you're turning right. I've given you the right answer, but it's like if you'd said to me where would you position if you're turning up on your own, well, I'd just be just inside the lane. When will you decide when to turn? road, haven't you?
So if that had been on my part 3 test, he'd have carried on running with that, wouldn't he?
Possibly. But you're on the right lanes, so you're there, you're spotting the problem, you're clearly able to analyse why it's a problem, but what we're not doing is fixing it.
Because, like, even for somebody what's been driving for a few years, if you get a large wagon coming towards you, you think, blooming hell, if this is a tight road, you're going to be fixed on that. A lot of people will be fixed on that wagon.
They also said, do you think you get round past that wagon? Oh, yeah. So that just fixed my gears on it. Maybe a bit unfair while wearing sunglasses, perhaps.
No, I give them that.
But yeah, I'm not looking in the right place. So you've got to think about, well, what are the component parts of when you do it? What do you do to turn? You know, like I asked you on the turn of the road, what do you do that I'm not? You haven't a look into the road. Get your positions. That's how you decide where your position is.
Yeah, that's what I do. On that junction there, you make a decision fairly quickly if that wagon is going to interfere, or you can turn without making him slow down, and you just look into the road where you're going.
So again, I'm giving you the thing, so why do you think that's happening? I'm not sure. Just held back there just in case.
Are we out of roll now?
We're out of roll now, yeah. So how's that worked for you? It's getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely getting better. When I go on to, I feel like I feel like it's there already, but I seem to, it's going in, but it's slow. But there'll be a time when it'll come, and I think it's going to come. We're getting a lot of practice with people.
Well, it won't hurt.
And
as long as you reflect in between,
yeah,
and work out for yourself what worked, what didn't.
Because what I'm really good at is realising when I've made a fault. If it's going to realise, when I go home now, I'll analyse it and I'll realise where I went wrong. Like on my part 2 test, when I realised I pulled out in front of that guy. And when I got back to the centre and I spoke to Gemma, is it off that?
No.
Well, I'm not going to say how bad, but Gemma said to me, I rate and meet bad people then what zoom across because I had this person do it to me. Now I could have easily fell into that trap of thinking that, but
Plays the finger of blame that way.
yeah, but straight away, like what he's done there, I know it because I've got that competitiveness inside. It's not the defensive. You'll ask somebody and they'll say, "Whoa, what are you supposed to do?" That white van's doing 40, 50 mile an hour.
Yeah, he didn't do you any favours with the way he was driving, but if you continually blamed him, your driving's not going to change. If you blame yourself, things will change about what you're doing. Even if it wasn't your fault, it'll still improve because you're striving to get better all the time.